I just thought it was really good.
It is. We're just repacking everything. Things that have come from sites that have been dug around in and around Gloucester.
Very big archaeological.
Unfortunately, the stores are absolutely jam-packed,
Yeah.
and some things haven't been opened since they were packed.
Wow.
So we're going through everything, we're repackaging it and trying to reduce.
You're finding some really good artefacts.
Yeah, and protect. You know, it's about protecting and reducing so we can get it all stored. So it's all volunteers helping.
Where will it go to once it's stored?
Most of it will go back in storage, but it's obviously been put in newer packaging and things have changed since they were packaged, so they'll be protected for longer.
Oh, that's exciting, really, isn't it?
It's amazing, honestly. Some of the finds are absolutely amazing.
We're at the Discovery Centre in Gloucester, and we are looking with our brilliant volunteers to go through the contents of the museum's basement to try and condense the boxes, better pack them to modern archaeological standards, archive standards, to make space, to better protect the archive, and to make it accessible to people in the future.
54 times that. 55 times that.
36?
Yep.
37?
Correct. And yeah, that's it.
That was a nice run.
4.5.
Okay, so we need 6 boxes.
I would describe the Discovery Centre as interesting yet intriguing.
So you get the boxes that haven't been opened for, like I say, this one's 1975, so 50 years. And the past is there in the boxes.
So we had 6,658 boxes of archaeology at the beginning of this project, which is an insane amount when you're talking about hundreds of bits. Like, each box contains hundreds, if in some cases thousands, of shards of pottery or bits of animal bone or anything that you can essentially think of, like little bits of lead and toy soldiers and toy cars from the 1950s are all kept, and boxes of soil samples. Lots and lots and lots of stuff that we just had no more room, essentially. We just filled every space possible. All the stores kind of grew organically. So this room sits in the very middle of the basement areas, so has to have its own security process for entering.
Slightly intimidating, isn't it? Oh, wow.
It's known as the safe rooms. So yeah, we emptied about 1,000 boxes in these spaces alone. So this was absolutely crammed full. We had boxes piled on top of each other on the floor. There was boxes kind of half falling off each other on tops of shelves and on the edges. There were some of these corridors that you couldn't even get down because there were so many boxes piled in the spaces.
It's not an ideal space for a lot of reasons, is it? So going forward, what you really want is more accessible space, more appropriate shelving, better access.
Yes.
I'm not very good with confined spaces, I won't lie.
No, that's fine.
Not loving the vibe in here, dear me.
So what I'm doing is I'm putting them in order of TF number once I'm checking that it's all from the same context. Then I'm writing up my bag, and then I'm transferring stuff into it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's quite hard to tell, isn't it?
I had that whole bag and it had one tiny pot shirt in it. But I tell you what, the scary thing is, I remember when they used to use paper bags when you went to the grocery store and they used to pack all your groceries in the paper bags. That makes me part of the archaeological record.
Yeah, the first box I opened, it was Roman pottery. And the Romans are like the big thing that I'm really into. So that in itself was super exciting, and seeing all the different things and like being able to touch it with my own hands, it didn't feel quite real.
I mean, it makes you feel incredibly important. Like you are basically the treasurer of the city's artefacts. And if you don't do your job properly, then artefacts might be lost. So it's really important that we do the job well, but also we're preserving it for members of the public. We have people coming in to see what we're doing, and it's really nice to see maybe the young people getting really interested in the history that's right next to them.
Making space is an important legacy. Some things we've picked up and realised, hang on, this has got to go to conservation or it's going to be destroyed. So some artefacts have been preserved by being looked at again, and other cases, say the boxes, I saw people pointing out to you boxes that were falling apart. So if we put them in these new ones over here, they're at least robust enough that hopefully for the next 100 years they should survive and protect the artefact.
As part of the project, we have a deselection strategy, so that finds which are relatively modern in date, which are of quite poor conservation or which are unstratified, are double-checked by a finds specialist, who, in this case, is Ed, who is our finds manager who developed the deselection strategy, so that anything which is worth deselecting can then be discarded.
Part of the process is we've been through, the boxes come from the museum and it may say on it post-medieval material, modern material, clay pipe, bottle glass, etc. And we'll put it aside for Ed to go through, and he'll go through and say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. It comes into this lovely room and our volunteers go through. We weigh each find by context, make a discard list, and that goes to the museum, and they've got a record then of everything that's been discarded, and how we also know we've got, at the moment, just over 2 metric tons of material. Hopefully there'll be more, but at the moment that's where we're at.
I think there is there's probably a sense of satisfaction that you get in sort of a, I guess in a way that you see all the sort of the boxes when you come in, and it's like you say, it's old, mouldy brown paper that's not been there for ages, and actually when you see at the end the amount of sort of space you've saved and how it's been packaged, recatalogued and going away again, you think actually yes, you know, we have done something. And I guess the other thing is just the enjoyment of just sort of seeing the bits that come out of the boxes, you know, not knowing what you're going to find, and finding all sorts of things, from either sort of really nice little items, there's, like last week there's a nice little sort of Roman stylus for writing on wax, or you open another box, it's just full of bones. But then you can see knife marks, cut marks where they've been butchered, and yeah, you just never know what you're going to see, and it's all interesting.
Just to see nicely packed boxes, indexed correctly, from the way they were, it's amazing. It's a real sense of achievement.
No, thank God. 3 times 1. 4 times 1. 5 times 1. 6 times 1. And 7 times 1.
8 times 1?
No, 13 times 1.
14 times 1?
Correct. 15 times 1. 16? Yep.
Brilliant. Well, this is more like it, isn't it?
Definitely.
This feels modern, professional, organised, freshly painted.
Yes. So everything is organised by site and therefore on racks. When you walk in, you can immediately see where each site is being kept as well. So both the kind of name of the site, but also the site code. It's much more accessible. We have space for researchers here. So if a member of the public had a particular interest in, say, Gambia Perry, we could bring them out here. They could have a look. We have a setup. We have the facilities to support researchers here as well, which is more than can be said for most of our stores.
Oh, that's brilliant. What an improvement. And, you know, this is the end result of all that volunteer labour, of the National Lottery Heritage Fund funding, all that support and all that time spent. And it will make such a difference to getting this archive accessible in future, to learning more about the past of the city, and to turn that story back to the people of Gloucester. It's wonderful.
I've got some quite chunky bits here. Trying on the boots. Yeah. See how some of them are tiny, but I've made in range. I tend to find I can get more.
Ooh, and definitely the spirit. I mean, it's nice to have a working environment when you can have a laugh with people whilst also cracking on with your work. But also the work experience itself, I mean, it's going to be incredibly important for the future. And so I feel like those two things are going to be the things that I can remember the most, because they're just so important to my character and other people's building of their personality.
Personally, it's actually passing on my own knowledge. That you've seen quite a few people calling me, oh, what's this, what's this, what's this, and that's something I'm quite proud of. Some people have said early career archaeologist student we've had, it'll be professionally useful. For others, it's just interesting, and they've been inspired to learn a bit more. And oh yeah, well, if you get this book, it'll show you so and so.
I would say, so I think it's a very welcoming place. I think it's fairly calm. I think it's fairly mindful, if you're doing. I think one of the things that I did like from having sort of worked before, it's quite nice just to get a task that you can just lose yourself in for sort of several hours. Yeah, and certainly, yeah, should there be opportunity in the future, I would certainly recommend if people are interested to come and put their names down.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important, especially because I know a lot of museums are in the same kind of situation where, you know, they just don't have the kind of manpower to go through all of their archives. So just knowing that doing this, this will be better preserved, it'll be in better boxes, it'll be at less risk of having to be thrown away. So doing this, at least we can be sure that it'll be safe for future generations to look at.
I've learned so much. It's given me so much. Rather than being at home every day, it's given me something to do and learning. And so honestly, so probably I've forgotten most of it, but I may move 10%, so at least 10% in growth, so we'll see. Yeah, everybody's done absolutely brilliantly. Whether they've done a few shifts or they've done every shift, everybody's sort of got their part to play in it and done it, and I think we're achieved nearly the goal, so it's just nice to know it's all going to be kept for the future, and my grandkids, etc., can then come and see it all and maybe see something that I've packed away and kept intact.
I walk in here and I feel so kind of proud of the project and proud of what the volunteers and Cotswold Archaeology accomplished. And it's just a really nice visual reminder of this process.
This sort of project, it's not just the reserve of people who are specialists and really high in their field. It's a project that can be done by people of any kind of background, as long as they have the right kind of guidance and training, really, as well.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Beth. And similarly to what you said before, it's been really great seeing people's knowledge come on leaps and bounds. People who've come in knowing absolutely nothing about archaeology, and now people opening up boxes and going, oh look, this is a piece of Samian ware, and look at these stamps on that, and I saw a piece like that 2 weeks ago, and going home and reading up. They come in and say, actually, I read up on this last night because I found it really interesting, and I got this book about this site out of the library. And it's been really heartening to hear that, because archaeology is a wonderful thing, and it teaches you stuff about lots and lots of aspects of life. And if we can encourage people a small bit to get into it, then I think it's all for the good.